Hi, my name is Sandy Carter and I'm IBM Social Business Evangelist, and this is our Social Business Coffee Break. I'm so excited that you're taking time out of your busy day, have a cup of coffee with us, and learn a little bit about the new world and the new convergence between social, analytics, and big data. Now, we've spent the last 4 or 5 videos going through some trends. The first was on how to recognize expertise and trust, because the trend has changed. We're seeing social sharing, not social hoarding. We also learned about the individual versus marketing to a segment or a demographic. Last time we talked about innovation and how innovation has become part of the corporate culture. And most recently, we then investigate how social networks are the new production line. Make sure you tweet that. That is the new trend. Today, though, we're going to talk about, if you look at all 4 of those past trends we talked about, what I view as number 1, which is about you personally. How do you look at your leadership and how does that change? Well, if you think about leaders, a social leader really is different than the leaders of the past. Leaders of the past have really been very hierarchical and really thinking that ideas must come from them. I think social is very freeing, because now you don't have to be the one with all the ideas and all the answers. Your team is, your customers are, your influencers are. So the type of leaders that you're looking for now and in the future are more what we call servant leaders. Someone who's more authentic and transparent, who's collaborative, who's comfortable with making a decision quickly, making a mistake, and then recovering fast. They're an explorer. They are really interested in looking for new ideas. They're not into not invented here, NIH. That doesn't even come in their vocabulary. So I'd ask you, look at these 10 characteristics. Do these describe you? Are there areas that you could circle and say, you know, I need to work on that one or work on this one as well? Now, as part of leadership, a big part of a leader's role is to set a culture for their employees. We at IBM have come up with something called a cultural assessment to help you really get to that culture that's going to be successful both now and in the future. I love this assessment because it rates you on your learning style, your teaming style, the pace that you work at, and what kind of risk taker is your company and your environment. I also love it because it allows you to really document where you are today and where you want to go so that you can set a path and a phased approach. In fact, even adopting social, picking the right areas based on your current culture and based on where you want to go. You know, Clarissa Phelps at Lowe's once said to me, social didn't transform our culture. Social revealed our culture. And I think that's what's so interesting about social. Social puts a spotlight on what you do great, your great elements of your culture, but it also puts a spotlight on where you have gaps. So you need to be prepared for that, and doing a cultural assessment like this can really help you and your business understand that ahead of time and start to make some of the changes and the fixes. Now, being a leader in this space also means that you have a strategy. Culture eats strategy for lunch, so you focus first on your culture, but then you do need a strategy to guide you. One of the ones that Forbes actually called out as a great methodology for social is around the social business agenda. You start with looking at that culture and goals. You then look at trust metrics with your clients and your employees. How do you engage? How do you get that strong engagement? And then you move on to that right process that we've been talking about today. Remember, social networks are the new production line. You look at your risk. You can't eliminate it, but you got to manage it. And then you look at analytics. How you use those social analytics to gather in the social data and the big data that exists out there today. I think this has been one of the most important trends that we talk about, and it relates to not only your company, but to you personally. I hope you've enjoyed this series on the 5 trends where social, analytics, and big data are coming together. My name is Sandy Carter. This has been our Social Business Coffee Break.